Hello and welcome to HughesRound with me, Graham Hughes. I hope Chubba has had time to make a cup of tea. I did. Here's mine here. Hello and welcome. It is Thursday, the 20th of May, 2021. Made it this far. It's insane. So lots of things going on at the moment. I don't like the way that looks on my arm. That looks a bit wrong, doesn't it? I'm gonna have to put that there. Okay, let's just leave it there. Hide it behind the big microphone of doom. Big hello to everybody watching. We've got John Barleycorn, who's in there first, saying hello. We've got David saying hello. We've got Adrian Wilson saying hello, Graham and HughesRound. Chubba saying he's gonna make a kettle. Time to make a kettle. Time to make a cup of tea, says Graham. Last night's Grassroots was a cosy affair with excellent entertainment from Charlie. Yeah, that was Patrick McCarthy there. Charlie, who seems to have an incredible memory for specific sketches of TV shows, and he can reenact them word for word. So that's all we did for half an hour. Sorry, there wasn't actually a Road to Rejoin meeting last night, but after I sent out the mass email to everyone on the Rejoin EU subscriber list, saying there'll be a meeting at 7:30. I went on my email to check that it had worked and everything, and there was a message there from Richard Wilson through the Grassroots for Europe mass email saying there's no meeting tonight. So it's like, oh god, Richard, give me the login details. So I got the login details and I just took it over. There's only 5 of us. It was very cozy, but basically I said, look, I know there's no meeting tonight, but and I'm very sorry about that. Here's the meeting that is in its stead. Gave a link to it, and yeah, we just sat there for half an hour having a laugh, really. Okay, which is what we could do today, if you fancy. Lots of other cool things going on, though. First of all, I am now booked. I am booked to go back to Ginger Island in in September. Now, obviously, this is very dependent on COVID and how things go with COVID. And the flights are refundable and transferable, even though they're economy flights, which is brilliant. Yeah, so I'll be heading over there in the second week of September this year, and I'll be staying there for 6 weeks, I hope. It might be curtailed because of COVID. I might have to spend 10 days in Costa Rica before I come back to the UK or something. I don't know what the situation is going to be in September. If there's another big upswing in people getting COVID, I'm not going to do it. I'll just stay at home. But as things stand, ticket is booked. So September 2021, the return to Ginger Island after, well, I'll say 2.5 years since I was last there, but it's been 4 years since I lived there. So yeah, there'll be a lot of things to do. The other thing that's happened, should be really excited about, is that the Festival of Europe Limited is now incorporated. Yes. So and I'm one of the directors. So you've got to be nice to me. Yeah, or you won't get an Access Hilarious pass to the festival. And next week I'll be taking Tuesday and Thursday off from the daytime show in order to go and scout out some locations in and around the northwest and around Yorkshire and maybe Birmingham. But yeah, I'll be doing that next week. So there's going to be no show on Tuesday next week because I could move it to 10 o'clock, but Max does his live show at 10 o'clock. So, you know, he does that live show at 9:30 actually. But yeah, I don't want to tread on Max's toes because he's got a fearsome temper, that lad. And on Thursday, obviously, I'll be doing Hughes of the World, and it'd be a really, really good one next week because it'll be about Bolivia, which is one of my favourite places in the world. So I'll be just waxing lyrical about the madness, the land that health and safety forgot, that is Bolivia. But this week, I'll be talking about the land that everyone forgot, which is Bhutan, or also known as, is this really a country? Yes, it is really a country. And yeah, I'll be talking about a country that uses happiness as a measure of its national wealth, which I love. Okay, so back into the messages here. You're a little red. Problem with gammon correction. Am I a little red? I can't tell on this screen. My monitor image is a bit small. But if I am a bit red, I'm very sorry. I apologise profusely for being a bit gammony. It's probably running up and down, getting me hat, getting me tea, getting everything ready, plugging everything in. David says, Graham, you forgot the sensation item in your merchandising In sensation this summer, nice Wangler Mankini. Oh, you want me to do a Wangler Mankini? Okay, so another thing that I've done, I've turned memberships on. So if you don't fancy being a patron for whatever reason, you can now be a YouTube member. It gives you exactly the same stuff that being a patron does. So it's things like you get access to the unlimited access to the Discord server, because at some point I won't be putting it on the show anymore, and it'll just be the people who are patrons who are allowed to go and freely explore and have a play on the Discord server. And also, if you pay the slightly higher rate, then you're going to get VIP membership to the Discord server, which allows you to make your own chat rooms and stuff, so you can play with it as much as you like, and I don't have to be there. You know, you can do what you want within reason, within the law. And Glasgow Kiss is watching you. Don't forget that ever. But yeah, merchandising has been turned on, which is good. Hey, all I've done so far is a few Wangland products. The best one is the mug, which I've already ordered. It should be arriving beginning of June or something. But it's Teespring, and basically you just upload your designs. So if anyone's got any ideas for designs, I can just put them up. It doesn't cost me anything except time to put up. If you want a mug that says something specific, I take no blame, I voted Remain, or whatever, I can make that mug for you, and then you can buy it off Teespring. You don't have to buy like loads of them and keep them in your house in boxes. They just make them as they're sold in one-off units. So that's pretty cool. And the merchandising stuff is underneath me. If you scroll down the video a little bit, you'll see all my Wangland stuff, which is my dragon with doing a face palm, my Welsh dragon superimposed on top of the cross of St. George. And I don't think it's copyrighted. That's the problem with stuff like this. You've got to be very careful with copyright, because you do something that looks a bit too much like something from Star Wars, or you use a specific font that's copyrighted, you get into lots of trouble. So I've tried to make it as hopefully no one can complain about the copyright on it. But who knows? Okay, so where are we here? Hello from a wet, windy Bristol. Hello, Buddy. Yeah, I'm from a wet and windy Durham. It's terrible here. The weather's awful. It's not like us British people going on about the weather all the time, but we're going to totally go on about the weather all the time. Especially as it's nearly June and it's still freaking freezing. Like, my hands are cold. I should be wearing gloves. Just found out the Tories are selling our medical records again. Thought they'd given up on that one, but apparently not. No, John Barleycorn, there's money to be made. Did anyone see the picture of Priti Patel today? It looked like something that Cold War Steve had mocked up. There's this picture, there's this image of Priti Patel watching some asylum seekers being taken out of a flat by the police. I hate that woman. I hate her so much. I mean, like, I need to have a thermometer, don't I, of like hatred. You know, hate, double hate. You know, like the Grinch. And basically, I'll have this thermometer, and it's the people I hate the most. And maybe it could be like Top Gear. Right, let's do this. Right, I'll get it on the back wall there. I'll put it there. Put it there on the back wall, right? And it can be white, so you'll see it through the green screen. And it could be like Top Gear. You know, where they have the speeds that you've done, the times for the star in the reasonably priced car segment, and they have it written on a bit of sticky stuff, and they stick it onto the wall, magnetic strips, and they stick it onto the wall. Should have that, and it should be like the wall of hate. And we can write the how many people do we hate in public eye at the moment? I don't know if we've got enough wall, to be honest with you, but Priti Patel, I think she'll be at the top, and it will take quite a lot to knock her off. Trump would have been at the top at one time, but now he's looks like he's in a bit of trouble with the busies, like. But Priti Patel, she is the busies. She's got like a little police uniform with Home Secretary stitched on it by her mum, possibly. What an absolute arse. Right, veg pie. Oh no, I missed last night. It's fine. It was just a little chat. It was just a wee little chat. If you want to recreate it after the show, we'll head over to the Discord server. It's pretty much the same. Oh boy, Ginger Island, says veg pie. Yes. No telling other people's jokes. They're only funny done by them. Anyone giving odds on Graham getting to travel to Ginger Island? Well, it's not till September, so. And Costa Rica, which I'm actually flying to Costa Rica, and then I'll be traveling into Panama, so that's a cost thing. Like, maddeningly. I mean, this is insane, right? So, basically, it's cheaper for me to fly to Costa Rica, right, than it is to fly to Panama. My flight goes via Panama. Yeah, don't ask. Max has a temper, more likely he's exasperated with the famous grunting set. Yeah, I was joking, Pineapple Boy. Max is famously very, very, very calm in all situations. He's a lot calmer than I am, let's put it that way. David had a white mankini with a red dragon. Oh, God. No. All I can think of now is Borat. Are merchandise sent from the UK? No, they're sent from the EU, I think, for UK orders or EU number orders. And if you're in the US, they're actually made in the US. So most of the things, it'll say whether it's available worldwide or in just one place. But yeah, I'm going to be putting loads of different designs on there and just funny shit. So, you know, if you think of something that you quite like on a mug or on a t-shirt, let me know and I'll put it up for you. And then we can sell it down here. I can choose what comes up at the bottom. I haven't chosen anything at the moment. I've just left it as the default, but I will. Chucking it here down in Rotherham. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Now it's also sorry to hear about the rain as well. Fuzzy Fuzz 2000 says, I'm in Ireland. I think it just stopped. What, Ireland? No, the rain. David says, will there be enough space for that red dragon? I don't know. It depends who's wearing it, mate. Umka says, hi. Sunny uplands. Yeah, not quite. I should change my background image so you have like a overcast sky. You can see over there in Birkenhead. Sorry, over there in Birkenhead, you can see that the clouds are sort of massing over Birkenhead, but it looks quite blue over Liverpool. New opportunity. British farmers shall turn into Australian lamb resellers. Indeed. Well, this is what we're talking about at the moment, is the fact that we're so desperate to get a trade deal with Australia. A trade deal that will be worth about 0.01% increase of our GDP over 15 years. Yay! We get more money from Harrods. More gross value added from Harrods. One department store. Then we're going to get from this. Although the Australians are going to do really, really well at this, as I've already mentioned on the show a few times, they're going to do really, really well out of it because they have these mega farms over there that are absolutely huge. And there's a thing called economies of scale. Because they've got so many cows. They've got so many sheeps. They can just send the cows and the sheeps, chop them up, freeze them, bring them halfway around the world and sell them for cheaper than what you can make them in the United Kingdom. Economies of scale. Now, all the other countries around the world that would quite fancy flooding our market with their cheap meat, like, I don't know, Australia. Sorry, we forgot that one. Argentina and America. Yeah, what do you think they're going to want as part of their free trade deal? Answers on a postcard. So, we're looking forward to loads of farmers going out of business and basically Britain's farms being bought up by American or Chinese mega agriculture corporations and turning the future UK into Plasy Wangland, which is what I want it to be called, the disunited kingdom of Plasy Wangland. But yes, that'll be great. So there'll be polytunnels as far as the eye can see. You know those green rolling hills that people like to see when they go out into the countryside? Yeah, forget that. It's just going to be polytunnels. Hope you like plastic. Hope you like looking at plastic. Hope you like looking out the window going, I spy at my eye something coloured white. Or something beginning with P. Plastic. White plastic. Over everything. Over all the fields. Yay! Ginger says, no more fresh meat for you. Everything will be frozen. Yep. That will affect restaurants too. They will be no longer able to sell fresh meat. Yep. And steaks are going to be worse than they already are. Steaks are crap. That's my two cents and I'm sticking to it. But yeah. It's what we want. Blue passports. Yay. The sale of NHS data to US courts hopes never went away. They will harvest data, patent algorithms, and the NHS will be forced to adopt those systems and healthcare models. Yep, that's the plan. There's money to be made for Tories. Tories got to make some money. The scumometer, says John Barleycorn, my idea for the having like a board here, and we can slap them. Actually, well, I might just get a little blackboard and put it on the side of me here and get some chalk and I can write on the blackboard. Even though you're not allowed to say blackboard, according to every racist granny in the country. But you can. It's just that they're generally not blackboards anymore. They're usually whiteboards because inhaling all that chalk for many, many years is not good for the health of a teacher. Yeah, basically. Hi all, think European, says RC. Indeed. Can't argue with that. Tories won't stop till the NHS is completely gutted. Yep, gutted like I was when we lost the referendum to a bunch of dickheads. Pineapple Boy says, 1 sheep, 2 sheep, Pineapple Boy shut down. So benefits is so huge. That is the order of the accuracy of the calculation. Yeah, 0.01. Best case scenario, 0.02% extra GDP growth for the United Kingdom. Why? Because we sell fuck all to Australia. Is this really complicated? It's on the other side of the freaking world. There's a world, right? We're on this side. Australia's on the other side. Okay? There is nothing we make that we can send to them for less money than they can either make themselves or get from somewhere closer to them. China is closer to them. India is closer to them. Bangladesh is closer to them. Indonesia is closer to them. Japan is closer to them than we are. Jesus Christ, small and far away. What do you mean small, Graham? Australia is huge. Yeah, most of it's desert. There's only 25 million people live there. 25 million. It's not a very big country. Not a very big country. Medium-sized country. If that. Medium small. Medium rare. It's a rare small country. That's actually quite big geographically, but in terms of population, pretty small. What have we got that they want? They've got Vegemite. We've got Marmite. Here, have some Marmite. Don't want it. We've got Vegemite. Here, have some mayonnaise. It doesn't look like what you really don't want mayonnaise to look like. It's a daytime show. Trying to keep some decorum here. You can guess what I'm getting at. Anyway, no, it's fine. We like our mayonnaise that looks like, Okay. Kangaroos. No, that's them. They've already got kangaroos. Oh, do you want some cows? We've got cows. Do you want some squirrels? No, don't want any squirrels. I know. Do you want some rabbits? We can bring some rabbits from Britain and we can bring them down to Australia and then you'll have rabbits. No. Don't want rabbits. Oh, shit. Foxes. Do you want some foxes? No. Oh, God, what have we got? The Romans took all our freaking gold. The bloody Victorians took all our tin. There's no coal. Well, there is, but it's all split seam. So you can't, it's hard to get to. Yeah, we're the biggest coal exporter in the world, says Australia. Oh, so you don't need coal then? No. Even if you could get to it, we don't want it. Shit. Okay, come on. There must be something that we make that you want. Soap operas, Hollyoaks, Coronation Street, Emmerdale Farm. Bring it on. It's okay. We've got Neighbours and Home and Away, and your soap operas are really miserable and shite. I mean, EastEnders, seriously? Do you think we're going to put that on TV over here? No, it's not going to happen. Shit, says Britain. It's okay. It's okay, everyone. Financial services, yes! Got it, Australia. What about some financial services? Yeah, I heard that trillions of pounds worth of financial services in assets and share trading and things like that have all moved to either the EU or the USA. So I think we'll probably trade with them if it's all the same with you, because they've got all the stuff that you once had that you gave away in favour of, I don't know, blue passports, dickheads. Okay, come on, people. We can think of something. What can we sell Australia? Come on, Australia, do you want some prisoners? Says Pineapple Boy. No, says Australia. Hang on, let me text Australia. Hang on. 1 second. Right. Australia, do you want some prisoners? No, they don't want any prisoners. Anyone else got any ideas? Monkey tennis, great. Okay, monkey tennis. No, don't need monkey tennis. Not very green sending that stuff to Australia and buying more from there. Even sea freight needs cold storage for food. More energy, nothing to balance that. Yep. The Aussie representing Aussie farmers said that most of their lamb is already sold to Asian customers. The UK might buy a small amount of high-end lamb. But they'll be able to sell their lamb cheaper in our market. They'll be able to flood the market. It's called dumping. Just flood the market with cheap stuff. It's got enough of it. They can make more. They've got loads of sheep. You can make more sheep. See, that's the beauty of having lots of sheep. Monkey tennis, yes. Sheep. We could sell them rain or water. Okay. Do you need water? Oh, yeah. They're quite interested in water, but apparently they live closer to other countries that do have a lot of rain because they're by the equator and we're on the other side of the equator. It's quite a long answer, that, really. But yeah, basically, no, they don't want our rain. Anything else? Mushy peas. They swore. I think that's a no. Youth hosteling with Chris Eubank. Okay. Yes! We found it! They want it! Youth hosteling with Chris Eubank. Bring it on. Someone get Chris on the phone. Anyone got Chris's number? We can sell that to the Australians and that'll make up for the 42% drop in trade that we've had because of Brexit. We could sell Australian sand and kangaroo food. Yeah. Gammon steaks. No, not big. Not big down under, gotta say. They can have Jason Donovan back free of charge. Don't think they want him. They don't want him. They want Chris Eubank. Graham trying to sell S Club 7 to Australia. Oh my God. It's like a comedy sketch, isn't it? Only it's not funny. Oh, sorry, I missed Umka's super chat. I was too busy texting Australia. It's the middle of the night in Australia at the moment, so you know it's amazing they got back to me so fast. Umka, thank you very much. €5 super chat. Tories are flat Earth believers. The whole world is flat. It's surrounded with Great Britain. Very good, very true. Thank you very much for that super chat. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Why are UK farmers are not rioting about the Australia deal? There's a movie by Werner Herzog, who is a German film director who's been around for donkey's years, and he actually appeared in the Mandalorian recently, strangely enough. But yeah, Werner Herzog made a movie in 2006 called Grizzly Man, and it was about this guy called Timothy Treadwell, who went to Alaska thinking that the grizzly bears of Alaska were his friends. He thought they were his friends. They weren't his friends. They effing ate him. They ate him. They ate Timothy. Timothy got eaten. It's a true story. It actually happened. It's a documentary about it called Grizzly Man. Really, very well put together. Yeah, there's a great scene where Werner Herzog gets to listen to Timothy Treadwell's final death howls, which he recorded at the time. When a bear came into his tent and basically ate him and his girlfriend to death. Being eaten to death is one of the most unpleasant ways of dying. Just ask anyone who's been thrown into a sarlacc pit. And it's got the scene where he's sort of listening and he's like, yes, nobody should ever hear this. It's just like, okay, well, it's all right for you, isn't it, Mr. Documentary Maker? You should delete this forever. But yes, a cautionary tale. Because bears, they're not your friends. You're made of food to them, and they'll fucking eat you. Sorry, effing eat you. Which is what I try and tell people who vote Conservatives. They're not your friends. They'll eat you. Like a grizzly bear. They can't help it. It's their nature. But I tell you what, tell the farmers, right? Tell the countryside people that the Australians want us to stop fox hunting or something, and then they'll all be up in arms. I mean, their livelihoods, their family future, their family farm, their kids' education, everything else, that can go up in smoke. But don't let us stop ripping those little foxes apart, little bastards. Worrying my sheep. Anyway, Australia do want some prisoners. A top diplomat said of the government strategy that we were losing a 3-course meal to choose a packet of crisps in a decade's time. Yes, parcel of pretty much what we're doing. Also, the Aussies are in a free trade group already. They are indeed. The destruction of vast swathes of British farming and fresh food producers is simply worth it because Tim Tams. Yeah, we're gonna get Tim Tams, which is penguins. They're just penguins. They're just penguins. They're penguins. We've got them in this country. You know, penguin bars. Yeah, pick up a penguin. Yeah. GPAN 2062. The Aussie representing Aussie farmers said that most of their lamb is already sold to Asian customers. The UK might buy a small amount of high-end lamb. I've read that one. David says, Graham, Combination Street, please, Spain suffered enough with the S Club 7 series. I didn't know there was a TV series of S Club 7. It sounds awful. Trying to do a food trade deal with Australia. The Australia featured on border control that prescribes loads of food items on biological security. That Australia. Oh, yeah. We won't be able to sell them anything. No, this is a one-way door. This is what I'm saying. They won't be able to sell them anything. But they're going to be able to sell us everything. Because they don't buy anything off us. They don't have anything that we don't have anything that they want, but they have stuff that we want, like cheap food. It's not something that the British farmers want because they'd like to keep a job and the farm. But they're not going to. They're going to lose it. And a lot of them, unfortunately, voted to lose their own farm, which was a bit of a dickhead decision for them to make. So my sympathy with the farmers is limited by that, but I still have sympathy. Because it's not nice being conned. No one likes being conned. It's not like people sit around and, when you meet someone for the first time, go, oh, let me tell you about this time that I got totally swindled out of £500. No, you think about that time and you think, bloody hell, what a dickhead. It's embarrassing. Don't want to tell anyone. But yeah, true story. Not very green, sending stuff to Australia. Indeed. Taki says, when all the Tories are arrested for their crimes and corruption, they can be sent to Australia. No. Australia's far too nice. Need to send them to South Georgia Island. That's where they're going to go. I've already made that decision. And it's cold, it's wet, it's miserable, it's isolated, and I'll make sure they don't have any internet. Or maybe they do, but it's 56k speed internet. So they can watch a single picture, download line by line. Like in the olden days. Oh, I love that. Vimto. Hi all, late today, was back teaching in the classroom for over 14 months. Jesus Christ, have I missed much? Graham had a Corbyn rant yet? No, I haven't even mentioned him. Although I was talking about my list of people I hate, but I didn't mention him. Bayberg says, we can sell them sunscreen. Looks like we've exhausted our sun limits for this year and we don't need sunscreen anymore. That's true, but I think they have their own sunscreen. And it's like I think it starts at like factor 50 or something. They take it very seriously because skin cancer is so high in Australia as a result of the big hole in the ozone layer. But we humans can't affect the actual world that much, I'm sure. Take Down the Union Jack and by Billy Bragg and the Proclaimers, cap in hand, required listening, explains today politics and the future trajectory of the UK. Yeah, it all comes around again, doesn't it? I mean, like people just saying, "Oh, I don't like the way that the elite tell us what to do," and what the elite have done is they've made you think that the elite are people like me. So I'm the elite because I'm Scouser and Gobby, and I want a better future for the nation's children. You see, it's absolute elitist mentality there, and they've managed to convince these dickheads that they're not the elite. Jacob Rees-Mogg is not the elite. Rishi Sunak with his 11 homes is not the elite. Boris Johnson, who calls £250,000 chicken feed, is not the elite. No. They're not the elite. The elites are people like you and me. And Unka, is it Unka? Yeah. Oh, sorry, Yurosh. I can just see a U in the top corner, so I didn't know it was. Still scroll down. I disagree. They should stay in the UK and live on minimum wage with a menial job. Okay, yeah. Well, thanks for the super chat. €5 super chat there from Yurosh, you legend. The minimum wage menial job, have them live in a soulless, horrible concrete flat with cladding in that's possibly incredibly dangerous. I mean, they make other people do it, so... South Georgia, North Sentinel Island sounds like a better destination for the Tories. So North Sentinel Island is in the Andaman chain of islands to the south of... it's in India, so it's sort of the south of Calcutta-ish. It's Kolkata. And it's populated by a tribe that don't allow anyone to go to the North Sentinel Island. If you try and go there, there'll be a rain of arrows raining down on you. A rain of arrows? A flurry of arrows? A quiver of arrows? No, a lot of arrows. A bunch of arrows. What's the collected term for arrows? A shitload. A shitload of arrows raining down upon you on the beach. So don't go to North Sentinel Island or you will die, as some dickhead tourist did a few years ago, actually. People go, don't go to this place. The birds will eat you. And they go, it's all right, I'll be fine. Don't go to this place. The natives will arrow you to death. Oh, I'll be fine. It'll be fine. So no one can imagine their own mortality, can they? There's no, it's fine. I'll prove everyone wrong. You know what? If you want to prove someone wrong, do it in a way that doesn't involve you putting your life on the line. That's what I say. The Reverend is the most vivid portrayal of being eaten by a grizzly bear. Yeah, that's true. The Reverend is a great film. Really, really visceral. A bit hard to stomach. Can't remember of the title, but didn't Herzog direct a film about a treacherous road journey in the Amazon with music by Tangerine Dream? Yes, he directed the remake of Wages of Fear, which was a movie made by Henry George Herzog, I think, in the 1950s. Wages of Fear, the Salary de Peur. Fantastic movie. And it was remade as... don't tell me, I'll remember it. Oh, God, what was it called? Something like... It was called something like Leviathan or something. It wasn't called Leviathan, but it was like a word like that. It was like a monster or something, or like a... I'll have to think about it. But yeah, it came out in 1978, I think. It's really, really good. But I think was that Werner Herzog? The other one that he was famous for was Fitzcarraldo, which is the one about the ship that gets taken over the Andes to go up on and they literally have to drag this ship up a mountain, and he actually got his extras to drag a ship up a mountain to film it. Yeah. What was it called? Do you know what? It was William Friedkin, I think. I think it was the same director who did The Exorcist, who did the Wages of Fear remake. So, yeah, if you're thinking of people in the jungle with a ship, it's Fitzcarraldo. And if you're thinking of the film from the 1970s that was a remake of Wages of Fear, it is called... Oh, God. Oh, it's going to kill me. Someone's probably going to tell me in the... Wages of Fear was the work of Henry George Clouseau. Oh, I said Hughesround or something like that. Clouseau. It's really good. Quiver. Old England. Waterboys. What? A volley. Thank you, Nicholas. A volley of arrows. Got there in the end. God, what was the name of that bloody William Friedkin bloody film in the 70s? It was like Sorcerer. It was called Sorcerer. Yes! Ben Viddings just said you're thinking of Sorcerer. Thank you. I got it before I read it. I have to scroll down. So, yes, thank you. Sorcerer. Great movie, set in the jungle. But I actually prefer the 1950s one. But really, really good. Really, really good. worth checking out. Oh, Alexis, hello, Alexis G. You're awesome. Why are you awesome? Well, because you've given us a £2 super chat. Thank you very much. What can we do to fight all this shit? I'm trying. Well, next month we're going to have some protests around the country. So if you want to join your local protest, please do. I'm going to put more information about the protest. I'm going to talk to Steve Bray about what's happening and the different grassroots groups around the country, and find out what's happening and when, and put the information on the Rejoin website for everyone to see. So yeah. But as far as fighting it, I think it's a case of staying together, keeping organised, and I don't know. I want a revolution, but I don't think it's going to happen. Not with this weather. Yeah. I think we need to protest. I think we need to be pointing stuff out. I can't believe that Labour don't spend money on making adverts, ripping apart the Tories at every opportunity. Put them on YouTube. You don't have to pay for airtime. Just make the adverts. They've got enough people who work for Labour for free because the tyrannical power relationship that Labour has over creatives, just like the BBC. Yeah, I'm sure they could get a cut rate thing. You watched that video by Greenpeace the other day with the plastic raining down on Downing Street. If Greenpeace can do that, then Labour can do some really, really good, effective videos, well produced, well lit, well put together, well crafted, slagging off the Tories. But they won't, because, oh my God, does anyone actually work for PR, do public relations for Labour? Do they? Is that someone's job? Can someone find out who does that? PR for Labour. We need to let's hunt them down first, and then we can work on other things. 56k far too fast. Make it 300-bit. Joni K says maybe they'll be better left in Nauru to learn about immigration. Yeah, but Nauru's nice and warm. That's why I want South Georgia Island, because it's not. A plethora of arrows. Speaking of sunscreen, Siberia and some Nordic countries got hit by a heat wave a couple of days ago. We might ask Aussies for some of the ships back. Everything is melting. We need habitable floating spaces. Basically, so up in Siberia, in the Arctic Circle, the temperature was getting up to 30 degrees and above 30 degrees C, which is a very hot day here in the UK. That's actually warmer in the Arctic Circle at the moment than it is here. Where are we? Project Grizzly was an early documentary about a Canadian metalworker who attempted to build a suit of armor capable of withstanding a grizzly attack. It didn't work. Oh, Jesus. Why? Tangerine Dream did the soundtrack on the Friedkin remake of Wages of Fear, not the original, says Chris Town. Well, I got there in the end. We'll make a great quiz team. Just put us all together. Don't forget to put likes into the stream. Throw the like pebbles in the stream, like wishes, likes. Throw likes at the stream. What's this Great British Railways thing all about now? Well, so basically they're trying to TfL it, which is what I've been saying for years. However, they're still going to go ahead with having different companies owning the trains, which I don't think works. And the reason why I don't think that works is for the reasons that I've said in the many, many times, is that if you have a train and it doesn't have a conductor, it comes into Leeds, right? And the conductor who's on the train has finished their shift for the day, and they get off the train, and then they're waiting for the new conductor to come on the train. Right, now, if all the trains were just one company, they could use any conductor who was in the vicinity and say, hey, the conductor for this train hasn't turned up. Can you please come in and stand in? Otherwise, the train cannot literally leave the station, and it's taking up this space on the platform, and there's lots of people on the train. There's hundreds of people on the train, and they really want to get somewhere and don't want to be hanging around wait for a new conductor to come from halfway across town, because the conductor has to work for the same company. So, I don't know if it's going to be the worst of all possible worlds, but I think what we had in the first place was the worst of all possible worlds. So I'm just hoping that GBR will be a better replacement for the shite that we've got now. However, I don't think it's not what I would do. It's not what I would do. I would go more for the full nationalisation and then integration of these terrifying organisms, these trains. I think it could work out well. I don't know if it's going to bring the prices of fares down or anything like that. But just logistically, there's only one track up and one track down, you know? Then you've got to work together. You can't have all these different companies who have all got different shareholders to look after and all these different like executives who want a bigger yacht to look after. Any news on Nigel's attendance at his talk last night? Was the second one? I think there was. I saw a picture, but you never know whether things are faked on the internet. So I don't know if Nigel had a big empty space. I hope he did, because I hate him. He'll be on my little thermometer of hatred. Kevin Haggerty, I got locked in my mum's house in Dublin for 6 months when this all kicked off because of became a FaceTime dad. But the Phoenix Park is only 30 minutes away, so I had long walks and feeding the deer. In Bhutan, they have fanged deer. Yeah, deer with fangs. I'm not even kidding. Actually, I think they're more like fangs. Like, you know, like a little adorable Bambi deer. And then they've got these big vampire things coming out their faces. It's really weird. To type in it. Fanged deer. I'm not making it up. Betty Biscuit. Hello, Betty. Says, hi, everyone. Bit late. No problem. We're still here. Ernie Burns says, a mass of arrows coming out the sky at your head is called an ag of arrows. Yeah. Klaus Kinski was in Fitzcarraldo. He was, and also he quit. Was that the one he quit? Because he just got to a point where he was like, Werner Herzog, I can't work with you anymore. You're trying to kill me. You're trying to kill me. Or was that another one where Werner Herzog actually tried to shoot him with a gun? A strange relationship between those two. I'd love to protest with you, but country will deport me at the airport. Well, yeah, David. What they're trying to set things up for in the United Kingdom at the moment is to make sure that if you've been to jail, you can't vote. And then they're going to make it so that if you have committed a crime and go to jail, right, it's more likely for that to happen if they make more crimes. So that's why they're making it a crime to pull the finger off a 50 quid statue of Jimmy Savile outside a gym in Glasgow. That'll be, up to 10 years imprisonment for that. And you'll never be able to vote again. So if you think about the way that they're trying to make protesting illegal, so people like me who go out protesting against the government, they make it illegal, they round everyone up for protesting, throw you in jail, give you a criminal record, you can't vote again. And you wonder why I'm supporting Scottish independence. Sorry guys, I'm out of here. Scotland's going to get independence and I'm just going to leg it. I'm just going to run, get out of this shithole of a country, because it is really, really, really getting dangerous now. It's a dangerous place to be if you give a shit. If you don't give a shit, it's a great place to be. If the only thing that makes you happy is other people's unhappiness, then fill your boots. Welcome to Brexit Britain, the shittest place on earth. Mogadishu going, hey, oi, that was our title for a while. Yeah, but Mogadishu, you're kind of getting your act together now, aren't you? I mean, I heard the government are more than just the airport these days. I don't know. Fill me in. What's the current situation in Mogadishu? Is it shitter than the UK? Probably, yeah. Let's face it. But Britain's still got a long way to fall. English Remainers don't get involved in any Save the Union campaign. The Brexiteers are setting traps for Remainers. Well, I'm setting traps for Brexiteers because if they try and say, oh, we should all stay together, I'm like, really? Oh, really? We should stay together? You're saying that? You think we're better together? Is that what you're saying? I think you are saying that. Killer deer. Oh, dear. Still no idea. Tim Wilson on Facebook said Scotch and haggis a while ago. And also hormone-infested Australian beef must not be allowed into Ireland. Well, it won't be. Jared says it's sunny and nice in Cleveland. Hello, Jared. I didn't know you were watching, but I do now. Hope you're still watching. Listen. I was going to call you last night, right? But you texted me. You texted me at 20 to 1 in the morning. This is the problem with time zones that I keep discussing. So, yes, we will discuss after. We're working on our Brexit cookbook together, me and Jared, which should be available the next couple of weeks, featuring beautiful recipes such as jellyfish. Oh, no, hang on. Jellied fish. Yeah. No, fish jelly. Like literally, it's like jelly, but fish. We're going to have barbecued squirrel on there as well. How to cook a rat. And other delightful treats like sheep's brain, stuff like that. Maybe Wangland will be turned by a new Scottish Enlightenment. Maybe. I think hurting statues is equally illegal in North Korea, says Pineapple Boy. I think we're heading that way. Chris Town says, try getting off at Birmingham New Street. Oh, God, no. Last time I tried to get off on at Birmingham New Street, I got told off. Got told off by the guy on the platform. He said, "Oh, you stop kissing." Where with a Birmingham station's ticket, if you arrive via Chiltern Line High Wycombe route. Oh my God, yeah, Chris, the madness of the trains. Like you get off a train, you're forced off a train. This has happened to me a few times. You're forced off a train to go into London, and this train's got to fall. You got to get off the train. Okay, get off the train. Okay, can I get on the next train? No, why not? Oh, it's a different company. Oh. Okay, well, can I get the next train? Because that's the same company as the train that I was on. No, you can't. But it says the same name of the company on the train. Yeah, but it was a Hull Trains. It was actually a different company because they bought a little bit of another train company and they were using their carriages or they were using their trains, you see. So you have to wait for the next Hull train. I'm like, when's that? Oh, 2 hours. Oh, great. Meanwhile, like 17 trains go past on the way to London. I'll go to the little pub that they have in these stations. I'll go to the pub. Can I have a pint, please? Yes, that'll be £57.90, please. What? Darian says, given the fact that a lot of Britain's rail industry is owned by France and Germany in their national companies, yes, British fares will be used to subsidise travellers in their countries. Yes, they will. Indeed. Parcel of Vogue, Tories thought it would be unfair to be destroying fishing, car manufacturing, retail exporting, and City of London. So they're destroying farming and food systems, to be fair. Yeah, they're destroying Britain. I mean, the Russians are like... Sorry. That's really unfair. Russians don't sound like that. The Russians are like... A murder of arrows works. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? The Indian extras offered Herzog to kill Kinski for Fitzcarraldo. Cool. Betty Biscuit, please don't forget how supremely arrogant the Tories are. Plus, they're not really that bright. That's true. The Fangs are so they can fight for a mate by blinding other males. They have no idea. Oh God. Thank you, Chubby. Thank you. Shouldn't read other people's jokes. The fascists turned on their own in the end. So not giving a flip is no protection in the long term. Indeed. Please, could you do vegan versions of jellied fish or squirrel on second thoughts? No, there's lots of turnip recipes. Don't worry, Veg Pie. We'll be there for you. RC says, I'm a unionist, a European unionist. Anything that speeds up any part of these islands' reintegration into Europe, I fully support. Yep, same here. Is quiver the collective term for jelly? Oh, a quiver of jellies. Maybe, I don't know. Hi, Graham. Great show and on top form as always today. Thank you, Daily Blaze. Oh, that's really nice of you. Yay, little bump. Herzog and Kinski always had a weird relationship. A creative folie à deux. Folie à deux. Does that mean folly for two? Pete says, I thought it was a wobble. What? A wobble of jelly. Arg, what's going on? It's flashing rain. I've just heard thunder, said Kevin Hegarty. Yes, don't be standing out in the field with an umbrella on your head. It could be quite dangerous. Duke Vengeance, go Scotland, get out where you can, leave nothing to chance, rebuke all our arguments to stay. Yeah. So listen, just so I know, is there anyone watching this who, if Jared and I make the Brexit cookbook, right, the Great Brexit Cookbook, it's going to be a joke book, obviously, with lots of recipes, but there will be real recipes that I've pulled out of old cookbooks in the Victorian era. Would you buy a copy of it for like a £5 as a joke for someone that you know who voted for Brexit? Would you buy it? That's in the next sort of 1 minute on the feed. So just let me know if you'll be interested in that. And would you be less interested if it was a tenner? Let me know, because it costs about a fiver to print these damn things. Did odd and chips, the thing in the batter may not have been in the sea. What? So privatised trains hasn't worked out too well. Another Tory idea. Yeah, another Tory idea, but Labour bloody took it and ran. It came in 1996, I think. Labour took over in 1997, and they should have renationalised the train straight away, but they didn't, and they allowed it to just go in a very crazy direction, where the fares just went through the roof and made train travel something that was pretty unaffordable for a large proportion of the British population. Obviously, if you're on a good wage, you could afford it, but most people aren't on good wages. Draconic says, basically, the problem with trains is this new Great British Rail can make unrealistic promises with no obligations to deliver. Same old government management and expectations then. Yeah. Okay, so 239, Timmy G says, yes, I will buy a copy. Yes, thank you. Pineapple Boy asks, any pineapple in the cookbook? No. On some of the recipes, it's got stuff that you can't get from Britain, like pepper and because it says salt and pepper to taste, lime, lemon, stuff like that. And I've done a strike through on anything that you can't get from the UK, because it's 100% British ingredients. You know, that seasoning stuff. But yeah, I've got at least one person. A cake that explodes in the oven recipe, then either price. I don't think anyone's going to make any of the food in the cookbook. But yeah, it's just whether it's worth spending time to make this thing if no one's going to buy it. But if at least one person buys it, I suppose that makes it worth it. That makes it worth it, doesn't it, Jared? Are you still there? He's not commented. He's probably asleep. It's very early over in Cleveland. Darian says, Pineapple Boy, wouldn't it be better to have recipes on how to cook pineapple in the cookbook rather than slices on it? Bum, 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 ch. You lot are on form today. I'll buy one, says Night 100. Okay, let's do this. I've got two people up for a cookbook of horrible Brexit recipes, 100% British, 100% grim and dispiriting. Yay, Brexit. I'm also thinking of doing, and I know I've got to get Top of the World finished, the sequel to Man of the World, and I'm working on it slowly in the background. It's turning into a bit of my George R.R. Martin moment, this, because I know I've got to get it done, and I will get it done, but just thinking of things that I could just get done quickly, because that Top of the World's not going to take me a week just to smash it out. It's a big project. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing a book called Angry Morons. I mentioned this before, but it's Angry Morons, how Britain collapsed under the weight of its own stupidity. And it's going to tell the story of Brexit from my point of view. So it's going to have stuff, obviously, in the lead up, how it all came to be. And then, so it'll start off with, I don't know, 1066. No, maybe the English Civil War. Thatcher. I don't know. There's going to start somewhere. And then it's going to rattle through to the 2010 election, and then what happened there, and then 2015, which is when it all sort of went horribly, horribly wrong, when David Cameron unexpectedly won a majority. But yeah, Angry Morons will tell a story of that, and also from an insider in the Remain campaign. So I might sort of be saying, well, we could have done this a little bit better had we done X, Y, Z, which might not make me any friends in the Remain campaign people, but I think the people who were real Remain people are still around and still doing stuff, like Mike Galsworthy and like Femi, and the people who are just being paid to pretend that they cared somewhat about the European Union, but really didn't. They've all disappeared. Funny that, isn't it? And then it will come down to modern day and today, and the handling of the COVID pandemic, the recent elections, and Scottish independence, and then that's it. The end of the Union, the end of the British Empire. Oh, Alexander Campbell. Hi, Graham. Thank you for the super chat. Hi, Graham. The fact a flight from London to Edinburgh is cheaper in some cases than a train from London to Stoke-on-Trent says something. Yes, it's a ridiculous, idiotic, moronic system. A train ticket should cost the same or less than if you take a car, there's 5 of you, to any destination. You split the petrol. Graham, says Kevin Hegarty. I'm always in trouble when someone says Graham, full stop. They have to believe how good the recipes are and how good the food will taste. Yeah, but I mean, it's just a piss take. I mean, you know, maybe I could jazz it up a little bit. So I'll have the name of the recipe. So it'll be like jellied eyeballs or something. And then instead of just going straight into the ingredients list and the recipe itself, the instructions, maybe above that I could have, you know, put some weasel words in about how it's wonderful for the British spirit, and it's made of Spitfires and Dad's Army and yeah, maybe a good idea. Betty Biscuit. So RC, looking forward to that Union Jack being lowered over Edinburgh Castle for good. If Scotland rejects its independence this time, the Tories will punish Scotland, not reward them. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Bayerberg says, when it was a contributing member of society, my annual train ticket... When Bayerberg was a contributing member of society, my annual train ticket was a whisper below $5,000. If I would live 2 stops further, it would be close to the 7. Holy macaroni. $5,000. That's like what I earn in 6 months. Oh my god, that would be like that. That's insane. That's insane. You spend half the money that you earn going to work. Thank God. Thank God for everyone working from home these days. The first pineapple that was grown in Europe was grown at Chatsworth, the same place the Coventry banana was created. That's from Darien at the Star. It wasn't the Coventry banana. It's a Cavendish banana. Yeah, but you're right. It was at Chatsworth. I'm assuming that came from Mauritius as well, because the first Cavendish banana, came from Mauritius, or the bananas that they put together to the cultivars that they put together to make the Cavendish banana. But yeah, there's a place in I was going to say there's a place that means pineapples, but there isn't, because that's ananas, isn't it? There's a place called Pamplemousse, which means grapefruit. There's a place in Mauritius called Pamplemousse. It's my favourite French word next to oiseau, you know, for bird. Oiseau and Pamplemousse. I mean, like, Madame de Pamplemousse. What a great name! It sounds just like the sound of it. But you spell chips funny. What? Turnips sound better than jellied eyeballs. Yeah, come on. Give jellied eyeballs a chance. When you ask consultants who have tapped into the public purse or services what they actually do, they invariably answer, I get X hundred a day, as if that's a measure of virtue, and get very vague. Yeah, consultants are a scam. I'm sorry there's any consultants watching this, but you're a scam. This is an absolute scam. There's a project that needs to be done. The company doesn't want to do it in-house. They get an accountancy firm in to do it. And do you know what? If it's something to do with accountancy, they probably do a bang-up job. If it's something not to do with accountancy and you get an accountancy thing in to do it because they're now calling themselves consultancies, they'll be shite. And they will cost you a fortune. And by the time you've realised how shite they are, you spent 50 grand on someone who's shite. Just get someone in. Give them a job. Give them a job for a few months. Be cheaper. Work out. You know? Actually, find someone yourself. Don't give it to KPG or BSB or TPR or whatever they bloody call themselves these days. They're just accountancies. They're accountancy services that decided to branch out into things that it has no idea about. Oh, do you need help building that wall? I know. Why don't you get a consultant in? Well, because a consultant's never built a wall, and this particular consultant has only ever worked in accountancy, and no one likes him. Anyway, so yes, that's just my tuppence on that. I feel very justified in my. I like going on. I like trolling these days. I've taken to trolling on Facebook because I don't use it. I just hate Facebook because you can't say anything because you get banned for a week. So I'm just not using it really. I maybe post 1 or 2 things a day if you're lucky. But I'm usually using Twitter a lot now. But when I do go on Facebook, I get quite mischievous and think, oh, what's going to piss people off? So the other day, I just went, cryptocurrency is a load of crap. Just watched everyone fight. And I'm just sitting there in the reading the comments, eating popcorn. But it's true. Cryptocurrencies are shite. Okay, so right. Umka says I loved frites, but I gave up quick carbs, so now I only enjoy flavor and memories. Flavor and memories. Betty says it'll come as no surprise to hear I share your sentiment. To be honest, if Scotland doesn't vote Indy this time round, we'll deserve everything that leads from our refusal and to cease it. Yeah, but it'll be more English people invading and just voting the wrong way because they're English and they're just like, people in Scotland suffering, I guess. When you ask consultants who have tapped in... Oh, I've read that one about consultants. Is there anyone else I can offend today who haven't bothered offending for a while? Quick question. Does anyone know why there are no car sharing apps so people can take others on intercity car journeys, e.g. Mitfazad, I can't say that, in Germany? I don't know, because I'll be up for that. I think there's a very... people don't hitchhike in this country. People don't hitchhike. And that's because the government like to put it across that it's dangerous because the government's being paid. Well, it was being paid at the time in the 60s and 70s to say that hitchhiking was dangerous. They were basically being paid by the automobile companies and the people who made the roads in order to make more people have their own car. Because they want everyone to have their own car, because then the automobile companies make more money, the oil companies make more money, and the politicians, who probably are a co-owner of a motorway building company, like Ernest Marples, can make more money. So they can all make more money, and we can all trash the environment together when everyone drives around in a car that has 5 seats and a boot. You can fit 2 people snugly in a boot, tied up. And just have one person driving down the motorway. Yeah, in the fastest lane. In the most uneconomic way possible. Legend, my exam will be 2020. What's that? I can't remember where the original pineapple cultivar came from, but the heat for the greenhouse was provided by horse manure. Something to think about. When you finish your book, are you going to tell your mum from the top of Chemical Plants Retort, James Cagney style? Absolutely. White heat. Come on, bring it on. And I'll be holding the book. I'll be holding it. And I'll say, Mum, look. Mum, I made it, Mum. Because it's going to be called Top of the World. I used to drive from Munich to Hamburg with 2 paying passengers, paid for all the petrol and everyone was insured. That's cool. The dirty fecker, Brexit will eat itself. Already they are gambling with Scotland votes by trying to pump dodgy trade deal with Australia and pretend Brexit is a success. Brexit will eat itself. Well, that's the hope. Oh no, I've upset Umka, who's given me a super chat today, so I'm in trouble now. Umka, I'm a consultant in the telecommunications area. You need consultants because bosses never trust their own staff. It is sad truth. Yeah, but if you're a consultant in telecommunications, Umka, I assume you know something about telecommunications. I'm specifically talking about... Look, it's not everyone, but there is a number of consultants who are brought into big firms to do consultancy on something that they have no idea about. They have no idea about it at all. It's a bit like when I'm talking about my countries around the world. I'm going to be talking about Bhutan tonight. Hughes the World, 10 o'clock. Don't miss it, Bhutan. But I have to revise. I can't just sit here and talk for an hour about Bhutan. I couldn't do it right now because I don't know that much about Bhutan. I've been there. Across the border, and I know where it is on a map, and I know that the capital is called Thimphu, but I don't think it's pronounced poo. But there's a history there that I'd like to talk to you about, but I'd like to revise before I know. But generally what happens is about an hour before the show, I start having go into panic mode and shit, I know nothing about Belarus or whatever the country is about. So I start rapidly reading and making notes and scribbling and stuff, cramming for an exam. And then I come on and talk about it for an hour, and that's fine. That's fine because, if you're entertained by what I'm saying and generally most of it's accurate, then we'll get away with it. But if you're being paid 50,000 freaking pounds to come into a company, you can't get away with that. You can't go, I've got a generalized knowledge of this sector, and I've read up for an hour before getting here this morning on the train, cramming. You don't deserve the money. I want specialists. You don't want consultants. I want specialists. Oh, well, maybe we'll put them two together. Specialist consultants. Experts. I want experts. Hey, back of us accountants, Graham. All we do is hide money. Yes. Is your advice always eat more pineapples? Yeah, can't go wrong with pineapples, pineapple boy. Sky News PM says that increasing confidence, current jabs will be affected against all variants, including the Indian variant. Must be true then. Yeah. I kind of wish he hadn't said that. I would have had more hope. Consultants are not the problem, it's the management of them, says Richard Prosser. Oh, that's shifting the burden of guilt there. Honestly, no, just between you and me, right? I know people who are consultants and they have a couple of drinks at a party or whatever, or see them in the pub and they've had a couple of drinks and they go, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. They pay me so much money. I've got a Tesla. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. So I should be a consultant to the travel industry. Hey, Graham, should we do package tours to Somalia? No. £50,000, please. Ching. I could do that. I think it's called GoShare. Oh, good. There is one. There is an app. There's an app for that. Bayerberg says accountancy firm has to. Here we go. Umka, €5 super chat. Thank you, Umka. Woo. Come on, consultants for Tories produce 0 results and paid, I guess, much more above 50,000. Yeah, well, that's another level. Thank you so much for the super chat. Another super chat from Umka. Thank you very much. You are awesome. But yeah, the Tories do pay substantially more to their crony mates for advising them on stuff that they're not qualified to advise about. Yes. My dad once said the only reason to get consultants in is so you can point the finger and get them in case it goes wrong. Yeah, it was all your fault. We are confident. We have assurances. The rest of the sentence needs no longer means anything. That's very true. I just got run through a few of the ingredients that we've got for the Great Brexit Cookbook. We've got cheese pudding, patriotic pudding. We've got stewed pigeons, kidney toast, semolina pudding, gelatine rabbit, cabbage farce, beef kidney, rabbit stewed in milk, ox cheek, kidney mould, stewed pigeons again, rissoles of kidney. We've got a very good recipe for pickling tongues. If anyone wants to take a note, you take 2 pounds of common salt, 4 ounces of saltpeter, 1 pound of raw sugar. Mix these all well together. Procure the tongue as fresh as possible, then rub the mixture onto all parts of it. Place in a flat bowl and cover the mixture that is left. Turn every day for 15 days. Then boil slowly for 6 hours. This brine will keep for many weeks, and after taking the tongue out, another might be dipped in without having to add anything fresh. Brexit Britain. Milk jelly. That's in the same section that we got the fish jelly. Vinegar cake. These are real recipes. I shit you not. Obviously, we've got conger eel dressed. Nettle soup. Brain cakes. Brawn. The recipe for brawn is split. Content warning. If you don't want to know horrific things about meat, then just mute me for a moment. Split in pieces a pig's head, salt well all over, remove eyes, put brains on dish and salt them. Keep the head in salt for 4 days or a week, rubbing it occasionally. Wash in several waters to remove salt. Place in stew jar covered with cold water and a lid. Get it to a boil and simmer till meat is tender and will leave the bones around 3 to 4 hours. Remove the liquor. Remove from liquor. That's not where I'll use the word liquor, mate, but go on then. And take out the bones. Cut meat into fine pieces. Put into a deep brawn tin. A head tin. This is a head. This is a pig's head. Okay? Like the type that, his name. What's his name? Boris Johnson. Not Boris Johnson. Guy before him. Dominic Cummings. No, not him. David Cameron. That's the one. Pig fucker. He's the one. The kind of pig that he likes. Anyway, put into a deep brawn tin, which everyone's got at home, with holes in the bottom. Put on a weight around £4 to press it. Next day, remove out of the tin, cut in pieces again, put in the pan, and take some of the previous day's jelly with fat removed. Bring to a boil. Add a good amount of pepper. Oh no, you can't have pepper. Sorry, mate. That's not a British ingredient. 2 ounces at least. Keep the tongue whole and place in lengthway into each mould. Surrounded by the mixture, let them cool. There you go. That's how to cook a pig's head, which might come in handy. Meat gâteau. Meat cake. We've got hair. We've got hair. Not like hair, but like a rabbit. We've got. I'm going to do ones for which I haven't. I'm going to swap out some of the recipes. I think some of the ingredients, so I can tell you how to do squirrels and rats and things like that. And like I don't know, dead birds that you find in your back garden. Gruel. I'm going to have a proper recipe for gruel in there in case you want to make gruel. Pickled Brussels sprouts, obviously, with Brussels crossed out. Nettles, just nettles. Clarified fat. Oh, we've got about 70 recipes in here. Sheep's head to make 4 good dishes, and in that we've got Scotch barley broth, the bones, the brains, and the tongue. They all make different dishes. There you go. Roast pigeons again, and I think there's a pickled tongue recipe in there as well. So if you want to send that off to your auntie who voted for Brexit, I say I can't wait. It's gonna be amazing. British food, 100% British food. Woo! Oh yes, GPan62. Thank you for my 10 Canadian dollars. Finally figured this thing out. Lol. Thank you, GPan62. You are a legend. Thank you. And thank you for finally figuring it out. Okay, so, sorry, just ran off. Lard, gruel, good start. Hair. Tongues, nice. It's a muscle, often very hard working, depending on the animal's circumstances, giving lots of flavour relative to other cuts. Okay. For Asterix fans, pig in mint sauce. Shitterlings au Rapperminzen. What, Meissen? Sounds like the ingredients of McDonald's meals. That last recipe should be long pig when Brexit goes all mad Marion. Yeah, we should do that. We should do that. Rabbit boiled in milk filtered through rabbit. Says Yoni. Brexit floppy rabbit with backbone removed. Tripe pig trotters brawn. Yep. Group Brexit recipes. I don't feel well. Sorry, veg pie. Oh my god. Did you see Rep Katie Porter show how pharma companies spend more on financial speculation than on drug research? That is true of all big companies. They act like fund managers rather than businesses. Well, it's like whenever these companies were given like a bailout by the government, they spent it all on buying shares back. Didn't spend it on like more research. Roadkill, says Richard Prosser. Yeah, I think we should have like badger, roadkill, dog, something like that. And I think they all need a little script at the top, in italics to say, hey, this is a great recipe for when you find a dead dog at the side of the street. And no one has yet claimed it. Lots of flavour. I don't think I've had pork ones though. It's just making sure it's sliced first. Some are literally tongue in a tin. Oh god, no. Speaking of lowering standards, that twat Frost wants the EU to lower their standards for us. Do you think that'll happen? No. In a word, no. In 2 words, fuck no. It's not gonna happen. GPan62. Lark tongues, a Roman recipe. Yes. Sparrows' beaks, larks' tongues. Pete Roberts says, I used to love pig's feet when I used to have it at my nan's until I realised what they trod in all day. Well, it does get cooked, doesn't it? Uh, it's pretty grim. It's a pretty grim situation. Anyway, we're coming to 20 past. We're just past 20 past 2 now on the clock. So we will head over to find out what's happening. The BBC has been found to have covered up failings over Diana interview. So this was the famous Diana interview done in 1995, I think, with Martin Bashir. And apparently the BBC has fallen short of the high standards of integrity and transparency, which are its hallmark over journalist Martin Bashir's interview with Diana. So basically, they got this interview out of Diana under false pretenses, which is a bit naughty. But I fear that the government's going to use this as a way to say, oh, we need to close down the BBC or just take over the BBC and make it Gammon Box News, which is going to fail, by the way. There's whoever was asking what we should do. We need to make things like Nigel Farage fail. Like anything he tries to do, we need to make it fail. And Gammon Box News, we need to make sure that it fails. So I've bought I've forgotten what the domain is called now. GB Newswipe. I bought gbnewswipe.com. I think it's still if you go to gbnewswipe.com, although it will take you to my server, but don't worry, it's me. It says Graham David Hughes in the URL. You know who it is. Basically, it's going to have GB Newswipe is going to have the companies that you need to boycott that advertise on GB News. So any companies that advertise on GB News, if Tesco advertise on GB News, will be putting the Tesco logo up. At the moment, the logos are Wayland Yutani, the Umbrella Corporation, Omnicorp, and Cyberdyne Systems. But yeah, you can make up your own minds who you're going to shop with in the future. Obviously, they're made up companies, but when GB News starts, we have to make sure that we organise a boycott of anyone who advertises with them, because if those advertisers see their revenues go down even by 1% as a result of adverts that they're paying for, they will stop paying for those adverts. And it costs a lot of money to broadcast on British TV. So fingers crossed, they'll basically lose out. They'll basically lose their license because they won't be able to afford it. However, you do need to know that GB News, this great British news, is actually funded by foreigners. Over 50% of the people funding GB News do not live in the United Kingdom. I hate our national anthem. Sounds like a bloody funeral dirge. Adrian Wilson. Cultural change, I suspect. We're more squeamish than previous generations. Many think we'll eat things like ox tongue when it's pre-packaged and pre-sliced, maybe. Lamb's heart is fantastic, says Kevin Hegarty. Do you strap the lamb to like a little sort of rack thing, and then you hold your hand over its heart and say, Cali come, and then rip the heart out, and then the heart like bursts into flames. In a kid's film. When I worked for Poundland, shoplifting was the local pastime. Thanks for that, Duke. If Poundland advertise at GB News, you can still go there to rob, but just don't go there to actually pay any money. No, I'm joking. Don't rob things. Jesus. I prefer the national anthem of Liechtenstein. I like the national anthem of Spain because there's no freaking words to it, which is nice. I don't get why people find tongue weird, really. How is it different from leg or other muscles? I don't see people's leg muscles like I see someone's tongue. I don't know. Maybe it's just that idea, like, it's what you know, isn't it? Chicken's feet are a delicacy in China. They're not a delicacy. It's just street food. It's street food. I've had it. It's horrible. It's really gristly. And you can't eat the claws. Kevin Hegg says, surely you'll all be dining on steak and lamb when the Aussie-New Zealand trade deal kicks in. Flooded with it. No, but the idea is that this is just all British ingredients. So obviously, once the British beef and lamb industry is completely destroyed by the Tories, then if you want to eat just British food. That's the joke. It's just all British food, and it's bloody awful. I would use those recipes, says Chubby. Well, you can buy it for yourself then if you like. And just loads of comments here about first chlorinate your chicken. Hey. So let's see what else is going on. So the BBC have had their knuckles wrapped. We'll head over to CNN to find out what's happening in the world. The House GOP revolt against Trump sets up tough Senate battle. The revolt of 35 House Republicans represents the strongest rebuke yet of Trump from his own party ranks. Oh, yes. Now senators face a choice. So basically, they need 10 senators to vote to start this independent inquiry into Trump, into, well, the insurrection on Capitol Hill. And it looks like 35 House Republicans in the House, the lower house, have voted with the Democrats in order to have this thing going. Now, the argument that the Democrats are making via Nancy Pelosi, which is a good argument, I think, is like, listen, we're going to do this investigation anyway. You can either do it with us, and it can be a bipartisan investigation, or we'll just do it by ourselves. So it's in the Republicans' interest to vote for it. But although, and this is maddening, although the Democrats do have majority control of the Senate, they can't get anything past the Senate because of the filibuster rule. And the filibuster rule says that they need a 60% majority, so 60 out of 100, because there's only 100 senators. 60 of the senators need to vote to end the debate, effectively. Otherwise, it runs out of time and they don't get a chance to vote on it. Up till relatively recently, a filibuster meant that you had to actually stand on your feet and talk until the clock ran out on that particular debate. And it could take a day or 2 days to run out. So you might be standing up for 48 hours. I don't know what the longest filibuster is, but it was bloody long. And if you sit down or go to the toilet or anything like that, then then your turn of talking is over, and they can shut down the speaker, the Master of the House, whatever, can say, right, that's it, the debate's over, after you sit down. So they can't sit down. They changed the rule. They changed the rule a few years ago to say you don't have to do that. You can just threaten to do it. It's just ridiculous. It's why next to no policies have been passed through the government in America for 20 years now. The Senate has been stagnated by this. It just can't pass laws. Because when there's something important that comes along, they only need the minority party, the party that's in the minority, has the power to stop that being debated, the power to kill a bill that they don't like. Anyway, the problem is that if I go over to read a little bit more about this revolt of 35 House Republicans, I'm pretty sure that it'll autoplay a video, so I just have to turn the sound off. Just turn the sound off. That'll be fine. Duke Vengeance says, I feel better now after that cup of tea. I think I'll have another one. I could do with another cup of tea. Maybe I should text Catherine. House GOP revolt against Trump sets up tough Senate battle on January the 6th probe. 35 House Republicans chose the truth and American democracy over Donald Trump's personality cult. Now their Senate colleagues face the same battle of conscience over the effort to investigate the Capitol insurrection. The House of Representatives voted to establish an independent bipartisan commission on Wednesday, but the bill still has a cliffhanger path ahead as supporters seek vote of 10 Republican senators needed to usher it into law. It remains an open, if perplexing, question if Republican senators will stand in the way of an investigation into an armed attack that sent them fleeing to safety. The revolt of the 35 House Republicans against their leader, California Representative Kevin McCarthy, who pushed strongly for the bill's defeat, represents the strongest rebuke yet of former president from his own party ranks, far more than the 10 Republicans who voted to impeach Trump over the Capitol mob scheme. Mob scene, even. The surprising scale of the Republican vote for the commission may indicate the politics of the issue are not yet set in stone and could give some Republicans pause as they consider their position in investigating the insurrection. People said we would not get more than 20 votes in the House from the Republicans, said House Homeland Security Chairman Benny Thompson of Mississippi, who negotiated the compromise bill with a GOP colleague. We got 35. I am optimistic on the Senate side, he said. Thompson said on CNN's Erin Burnett out front. Now, there is, the mathematics on this are pretty difficult because there's about 10 GOP Republican senators that I believe are standing down in the next election in 2022, which is only next year. They're retiring. I think it's 10. Or, you know, when their term, because their term's like 6 years and they overlap. So they select every 2 years, they select a third, get voted for of the senators. So before the next major election or whatever, when their term is up, they're going to retire. So there'll be a primary, there'll be somebody else who'll have to come and take their place anyway, no matter what they do. And there's about 10 of them that are in this situation at the moment. So they've got nothing to lose, really, except all the perks that you get for being, you know, a good little GOPer. But the problem is, and I wish more Republicans would be a bit more forthcoming in pointing this out, Trump lost them the presidency and the House of Representatives and the Senate. He lost. Mr. Smith goes to Washington. Jimmy Stewart's filibuster. Yeah, I blame Mr. Smith goes to Washington for making it seem like the filibuster's like this noble thing. Because in that, he's doing it to prevent some pork bowel nonsense or something. But he's doing it with the best of intentions. But normally, it's not done with the best of intentions. Adrian Wilson, perhaps Indiana Jones could be hired by the government as the man to find the Brexit dividends. Yeah, he's got his bag of he's got his bag of sand. Imagine this is a bag of sand. No, I'm going to touch the mic. I know it's horrible on your ears when that happens. Ractopamine used in US pig production is correlated with the metabolic trauma, multiple infection, cardiovascular problems, and downer pigs which can't bear their own weight. Nice. Let's eat some of that. You are what you eat. Plum Duff. I see the police and immigration are picking on delivery drivers to check their immigration status. What a police state we've become. Yeah, how dare you deliver people's tasty food to them? We don't want that. We want people to go and get their own food in the middle of a pandemic. And he says Trump has dirt on all the reps that he has them under his thumb, but he's getting into real trouble. Weisenberg has probably flipped, and so he will be going down. Yes, well, that's the hope, isn't it? How silly will it have been to stuck with Trump once he's convicted by a court? Kevin Haggerty, the longest that one guy stood talking in a filibuster lasted over 24 hours. He dried himself out before it by hitting the sauna, etc. It's mad, just like them. I reckon I could do 24 hours. I've said that I'll do this at some point, maybe to raise some money for charity, but like a 24-hour Hughes round, like literally sit here for 24 hours. I'll have. I can't go for a wee on camera, can I? Well, I suppose I could at the table. You wouldn't know, but yeah, I'll probably have like little breaks of just like a minute to go for a wee. But if so long as I've got like a little mini fridge next to me with beer inside, I'm fine. And that's something like I think the filibusters, the people used to come and give them water, didn't they? Which is something that these bastards in America, these Republicans, they want to stop people queuing to vote from having water, from being given water. They want to make that against the law. Don't give them water. They've got to suffer. They'll stand there for 24 hours in a queue in order to vote. And then when they vote by post, so they don't have to queue up for 24 hours, then we'll say, oh, we don't want to count your vote because you you don't want to count your vote because you posted it. Like people have been doing in America for decades. People have been doing all over the world, in democracies all over the world for decades. Kevin says, if Trump gets convicted, the people in the Bronx can get Trump out of his golf course and out of the area and will have broken the contract he signed. Eric wanted $30 million for them to walk away. Jesus. GPan62. Why do I feel that no amount of investigating will lead to a Trump conviction? Oh yeah, 2 failed impeachments and expensive lawyers. Yeah, but the impeachment didn't fail, GPan. The impeachment went ahead. He was found not guilty by the Senate once he was impeached. But the Senate needed, I think it was a 60 majority again. They needed I think it might be a 2/3 majority in order to convict him. So 66 of the senators needed to say he's a bad un. And nearly all the senators voted along party lines. So it wasn't a trial like a normal trial. It was basically somebody putting 6 Liverpool fans and 6 Everton fans up against, to be the jury of a trial on Jurgen Klopp's management of Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Which way do you think it's going to go? People just voted for the side that they're on. They voted for the side they're on. So it's not really justice. I don't think anyone saw it as justice being served or meted out in any way. But it is a bit of a worry because it shows the lack of morality, basic morality of the people, the Republicans who just a couple of weeks earlier than that have been running for their lives from this angry mob that Trump had told to go and kill everyone who got in their way. Take back their democracy by force. The same language used by autocrats and dictators and tyrants all over the world for centuries. The mob. I'm in charge of the mob. Send the mob out. Get them to kill all the people that you don't like, and then happy days. Filibuster boy, pineapple boy, even pineapple boy. Thank you very much. $1.99. When you do a filibuster, it'll be worth viewing. Do you think I could do it? Do you think I could do it? 24 hours. Should we find out? Because that'd be a good little Guinness World Record, wouldn't it? Should we do that? The longest ongoing non-stop live YouTube broadcast. Someone look it up. There must be a Guinness World Record for the longest continuous live YouTube thing. Let's break that record. Go on. That's what I'll do. I hope it's not a week. But if it's like 24 hours or something, I reckon I could do it. Sorry for the tardiness. Just popped to Bhutan and back. Hello all. Hello, Jeremy. I did that once. John Barleycorn says, you need a car, John. One of those plastic bags you strap to your leg to pee while driving. Used to appear regularly in the small ads in the Daily Mail. Oh, God. Marathon streams are now being done to raise money and awareness. They're normally around 50 hours. 50 hours. But they must have a break. They must have a break of 50 hours. I could do 24 hours. That's just one sleep missing. So if I could do 24 hours, I could get up to 36, 38, maybe 40 hours. Maybe 40 hours before I just conked out. I think they can't even lean on the podium during a filibuster. I've been thinking of creating a new YouTube account to infiltrate the Daily Mail or the like. Filibuster might work. Yeah, that sounds good. I like it. Filibuster. Well, how about you spell it like Phil, like the name Phil, so Philly, Filibuster. That's a good one, that. I'm going to write that down in case you decide not to use it, and I'll just steal it because I like it. Hello, my name's Filibuster. It's probably named after a bloke called Filibuster, wasn't it? Inconsequential. The longest live stream video is 259 hours, 46 minutes and 45 seconds in duration, and was achieved by Chang'an Automobile Co. in China from the 6th to the 27th of December 2020. But, I mean, was that like someone talking the whole time? Like a one person wouldn't have been able to last that long without sleep, I don't think. Phil E. Buster. Yeah, that's very good, that. I like it. Jeremy Goff. Someone has just watched Homes Under the Hammer for 25 hours straight. At least it was for domestic abuse charity, but loo breaks were allowed. Yeah, I don't think loo breaks should be allowed. Hello, Chris. Hello. We're talking about doing a live stream for charity and how long you reckon I could go. Brexit. Jeremy Goff. Brexit, Graham's new food book recipes on sale when it's written. It's written. It's written. I was reading from it then. It's just got to be published. I was thinking of doing a drawing for each dish. You know, like a little drawing with a pig's head on the drawing on a plate or something, and like a tongue, like the Rolling Stones tongue, but it's on a plate. Pigeon pie. Yeah. So okay. Apparently, holy cow! See Republican Ryan's stunned reaction to the House vote. There you go. Cooper said, "We saw two adults bend to the whims of a one-term president." Yeah, one-term president. Sorry, published. Well, yeah, okay. But no, I suppose I've got to do a bit more writing on it, and I've got to design the cover as well. So you got to think about it. For angry morons, right? Angry morons. How Britain collapsed under the weight of its own stupidity. It's like an angry gammon face, like screaming, like lots of teeth, like ah, like that. And yeah. What was I gonna do? I was gonna do that, but with like, I don't know, Brexit written on the tongue or something. Pineapple Boy, longest filly in the US Senate was 24 hours, 18 minutes, and most of them to sabotage civil rights. Yes, Pineapple Boy. Exactly. That's why Frank Capra's Guess Who's Coming to Hollywood? No, Mr. Smith goes to town. No, Mr. Beecham goes to Hollywood. No, Washington. Mr. Smith goes to Washington. In that he's the hero, but generally the filibuster was used for evil. For evil. Dead puppies and kittens in crates reveal the dark side of China's mystery box craze. Jesus Christ. The Israeli-Palestine conflict could trigger a third COVID-19 wave in Gaza. Some say it's already here. Shit. So things went bad enough. I think Gaza's rockets are running out. So there's gonna be a ceasefire announced in the next 24 hours. Pretty much guarantee it, and then that'll hold for the next maybe 3 years, and then this will all happen again. And in those 3 years, we could make great inroads at peace in the Middle East, but we won't. But when I say we, I don't mean us, because we've got no power. You know, the people in power, they could do something about it, but they won't. They're too busy feathering their own nests and choosing wallpaper that peels off the wall after a month. King Crimson, Court of the Crimson King album cover. King Crimson. Yes, I know the one you mean. Yeah, I'm just looking it up. Yeah, basically that tongue. But yeah, angry morons. And people go, God, this moron. Say, well, stop being a moron then. I'll stop calling you a moron. And it's true. Look, I'd hate to be the person who says that people are stupid. You know, it's really derogatory. It's horrible. It's not a very nice thing to say. However, I have not met a single Brexiteer who is intelligent. I just haven't. Maybe they exist. Maybe you'll point me to them. Maybe there's someone that you know that you consider to be intelligent, but I might not consider them to be intelligent because they'll be a Brexiteer. I think it's a bit like the chicken and the egg thing. Were they thick first or a Brexiteer? Were they a Brexiteer first and then therefore they're thick? But either way, like whether they have a specialist knowledge about one particular thing of the world, it doesn't really make way for the fact that they must have no common sense, because common sense says don't tell your closest neighbours, the rich countries, to fuck off so you can go and trade with poor countries literally on the other side of the world. It's just not smart. It's not the smart move. These people, maybe they play chess badly. I don't know. Whatever they do, overall, they're not the smartest. I would say 52% of Britain is below average intelligence. It's a joke because it's 50% in everywhere except it's like Spinal Tap. It's like a Spinal Tap joke. It's like Spinal it goes up to 11. Yeah, our average goes up to 52. Shut up, Graham. Big head, tongue, teeth. Lovely. Head only COVID centre got destroyed. Their only COVID centre got destroyed. Shit. Talking about Gaza there. Two types of Brexiteers, millionaires and morons. Don't know which you are, check your wallet. Yeah, but the millionaires who went for Brexit are morons as well. So, yeah. It's moronic millionaires and moronic people who have no money. John Barleycorn, the local newspaper, is reporting that a load of pro-COVID morons are going to be protesting in the shopping centre on Saturday. Hope they all get themselves banned. Imagine shilling for a virus. Imagine that. Imagine in a battle between humanity and a virus dead set on wiping out a vast chunk of humanity. Imagine going, I'm on the side of the virus, man. Imagine being so much of that belief that you go on Facebook and tell your friends. Will your friends ever respect you again? Nope. Will they ever invite you to anything groovy again? Nope. Because there's something going on there. There's something going on there. That's all I'm going to say. Plague protagonists, indeed they are. Apparently, that 259-hour stream was a test of an engine running at full power for over 10 days, chatting with users and analysing the technology. Yeah, but I mean, inconsequential. They weren't awake. It wasn't like one person awake. There must be a record for the longest live stream done by one person, continuous live stream done by one person. And whatever that record is, I'll try and beat it. Because that record there for 10 days... I mean, that was only set last December, so this is a fast-moving record. Graham, is it true? It's true that Nigel Farage had properties in Monaco not declared in HMRC. I don't know. Probably. Wouldn't surprise me. Dirty Fecker, I used to think Ian Brown was smart, then COVID-19 arrived. Indeed. Duke said, in the Warhammer series, we have units called Plague Monks. Guess they'll do. Plague protagonists. Yeah. They're on the side of the plague. I mean, that's scary, isn't it? You know, did they come out of the movie Contagion going, I wish the Contagion had won in the end. Didn't kill enough people. They wiped us all out. Anyway, what else is going on? A doctor in America who died of COVID-19 left his family with a sports card collection worth $20 million. Jesus Christ. People have too much money. And let's see what's happening in the UK. Have they released the BBC Martin Bashir deceitful behaviour to secure Diana interview report finds. I'm just going to see if there's any more news on Twitter because I've got to go soon. It's nearly 10 to 3. That has flown. That has flown by. Richard Foster Graham, which drugs will you take in your marathon? None. Or tea. I'm gonna be on me tea. Yeah, let's do some teaing. Did a quick booze hop on the Sea Cat to France when we touched on French soil. A group on Brits started chanting, "If it wasn't for the British, you'd be krauts." Jesus Christ. Ludwig did a continuous live stream for over 700 hours, March the 14th to April the 14th, but was not awake the whole time. Okay, Yoni, we're narrowing it down. Okay, awake. We're gonna have no sleeping breaks and maybe just you're allowed 1 minute every hour to go to the loo. 161 hours by Lewis Sammartino. Was that without sleeping? Was that like Glasgow? Was that? Tell me. Was that? Let me know. Simon John. Those sorts of English abroad disgust me. They shouldn't have passports. Yeah. We really need 100% tax on inheritance, says Eurosh. Couldn't agree more. Check with Guinness before attempting a record they might not recognise. Lol. Yeah. Thanks, GPan62. Everything over a certain threshold goes to UBI. No P breaks should be allowed. Now that's a challenge. Well, I mean, you just in that case you just have a bag, wouldn't you? Because it's not like Guinness are going to turn up and check, are they? Just piss into a bag. Fish, freedom of movement, agribusiness, artist, retirement, Erasmus. I'm not even British, and I would be a total Guy Fawkes on these jerk offs. When will the new UK have enough? Says Michael. The thing is, there'll never be enough. There'll never be a straw that breaks the camel's back, I don't think. Because if 150,000 people can die, and at least 44% of the British electorate goes, yeah, that's fine, then there's nothing these guys can do that is really gonna that's really gonna change that. So I mean, I can't see it. I can't see there being a thing where Britain wakes up from its reverie and decides to, buckle up and fly straight. I do think that the big shock that's needed is Scotland leaving the Union. And I think Scotland has to leave the Union in order for England to find its feet again, to find its heart, to find its morality. It's too far gone at the moment, lost in this, like I say, this reverie, this daydream, this toxic daydream about the past, and it's sad. It's really sad that it's come to this. But I just can't see any way out of it apart from Scotland getting independence, Great Britain being no more, and then the rest of us being able to use that as a stick to beat over the head of people like Boris Johnson and say, this is your fault. Scotland left because of you. And we can say that to Boris Johnson because, God damn, it will be true. Everything over a certain threshold goes to UBI. Yeah, Yosh is right, but eventually. I couldn't agree more. Such arrogance. Oh, you're not talking about me. 95 Winston. I've got to get a few friends to come in to speak with you. Yeah, I could. No. I think it'd be before lockdown's all over and we're all back to sort of some relative thing of normality. I'd quite like to see how far I could get before I fall asleep. Just doing a show, and yeah, saying, hang on, just got to go through a wee, and literally, that's all I'm allowed to do. And have Catherine bring me cups of tea now and again. Isn't there a thing called a platypus that you can rig up and use for peeing? Yeah, I don't really want to in the house. Do you know what I mean? Catherine will have bloody kittens. The Brexiteers don't care as long as there's less foreigners, especially the brown-skinned ones. These racists are happy. The Brexit lot will be pleading with Scotland to stay. It's very true. You could always broadcast from the toilet a la Frank Hovis. That's an idea, actually, yeah. Just set my studio up in the toilet. Duke Vengeance is a very narcissistic view of Scotland. It's like, how dare you try and leave us after everything we did for you, Scotland, blah, blah, blah. The same way my parents treated all of their children, says Duke. Yeah, sorry, I thought you were talking about me there being narcissistic. No, it is a narcissistic view of Scotland. That it's ours. It's ours. And this is the thing. If you make people think that something is theirs, they'll fight for it, even if they wouldn't care under any other circumstance. They'll fight for it because they'll feel like something is being taken away from them. And this is why rich people are such gobshites, because it's never enough. No amount of money that they have is ever enough. And once they reach a certain threshold, they will be a gobshite. They'll be a Tory. They'll just be a horrible, horrible person. Why? Because the love of money will drive them insane. And it happens to loads of people. Not everyone. I mean, I'm sure there's a few millionaires out there who aren't massive gobshites. But the vast majority of them are. Why? Because they spend every freaking moment of their lives worrying about the fact that someone might come and take their shit. Someone might come along and take their money off them, might, take the things that they have. And they want to cling on to them, and they will kill. They will kill to cling on to them. And that's not just like mega rich people. I think that's a lot of people. You look at America and how they view possessions. To them, if someone comes into your house and steals your toaster, they deserve to die. They deserve to be shot dead. They deserve to have their brains splattered out all over your kitchen surfaces for having the audacity of taking that thing that's yours. And that's a problem of morality. That is a basic problem of the way that we teach morality in Western civilization. I'm sure Jesus probably said some nice things about not, coveting people's oxen and stuff. Coveting people's oxen, even. Or was that the Ten Commandments? But the fact of the matter is that fear is what drives people to hate. Yoda was right in Star Wars Episode 1. In the one half-decent point that he made, yeah, fear does lead to hate. And hate leads to the dark side. They're scared. And that's why they hate foreigners. They hate people who have a different religion to them, people, different ethnicities, people have different sexualities. They hate everything because they're scared. They're terrified. And that drives them. And the richer you are, the more terrified you get by the looks of things. You could always have a catheter fitted. 95 Winston. No. Roger Waters, multi-millionaire, still cool, says Dirty Fecker. Yeah, some of them are. Kevin Hegarty, the same racists will be complaining when they can't get their strawberries in the supermarket and trying to explain to them that the UK doesn't have anyone to pick them will fall on deaf ears. Yeah. Jeremy Gox says, worst thing was there was a German guy who objected being called a kraut. Yeah, it's a derogatory term for someone from Germany. I mean, yeah. People say, oh, you're so woke. You're so woke. You're so PC. It's like, no, I'm just not horrible. I'll be horrible to specific people and to groups that do specific things, but that's their choice, not for what people are. If you pick up a group and say, oh, I don't like this group for what you are, what you literally are, not your opinions, not what you've done, not your actions, but, the way you were born. I hate you because of the way you were born. Pisses me off. We should make Brexiteers work in the field since they want Brexit to work. Yeah, absolutely. This is what we should do to all these incredibly rich retirees, these millionaires. 1 in 5 boomers are millionaires in this country. 1 in 5 millionaires. Money is a scorecard. If you take the rich off, there's always someone else above. Take off the rich, there's always someone else above. Betty Biscuit, weirdly, Brexiteers are generally really keen to rubbish Scotland, and quite a few comment that if England had a vote, we'll definitely kick you out. Would suit me, but display controlling attitudes. Yeah, Betty. I mean, I see horrible stuff about Scotland on my Facebook because I'm in some politics groups just to see what they're saying, and there's a lot of rabid right-wing nationalistic English twats who think that without Britain, Scotland will be impoverished and it'll be this poor person on the streets. And it's like Ireland, where they have one of the highest GDP per capitas in the world. Okay, yeah. Daily Blaze, do you think, Graham, that maybe the only benefit from Brexit is that maybe it could be the start of us getting rid of this Empire 2.0 nonsense, or do you think as a nation we'll never learn? Well, Daly, I think we were getting rid of that nonsense. My generation never grew up with the Empire. It wasn't a big thing for us in the 1980s. When I was a kid, we didn't do a minute's silence on November the 11th. We didn't start doing that until 1995, when it was the 50th anniversary of VE Day. I think that was the first time I actually remember doing that in school. Maybe I'm just misremembering things, but it didn't seem like a thing that we did. If you went to church, you'd have Remembrance Sunday and you'll keep a minute's silence on, that particular Sunday. But it wasn't a thing that we did in all the schools and all the hospitals and all the shopping centres and the museums. It's not something that we did. Do you know what I mean? Just said museums twice there, didn't I? I meant art galleries. Did I say that? But yeah, it just seems this whole nostalgic thing started kind of, arguably when Blair took over in 1997 and with Cool Britannia and this sort of reclaiming of British heritage. And it was funny for a bit. It was all Austin Powers and smutty jokes and double entendres and stuff. And then it got a real dark side, I think, after the Olympics, when it wasn't funny anymore and people were taking it really seriously, and they were the whole thing in life was that we won the World Cup, at that time before they were born, and we won 2 world wars before they were born, and I don't know. I blame toxic nostalgia, but I think we were on our way to getting over this whole Empire hangover. But yeah, I think Brexit has put that back maybe by 20 years in the national psyche, because what's going to happen is, and you know this is going to happen, like British people are just going to whinge about how mean everyone's been to them. And there's nothing better for the right wing, for these cockheads, these bastards, these scumbags like Priti Patel and Michael Gove and Boris Johnson. There's nothing they love more than the whole victim story. Hitler was huge on this. They were the victims of being stabbed in the back in World War One, and therefore you should vote for the Nazis. And this whining about being stabbed in the back is I mean, it goes back before the Nazis. It's been used since time immemorial to get people together and make them feel aggrieved, and then that shared grievance becomes the glue that holds this group together, and that's what's going to happen with the UK. So I think it could probably get worse before it gets better. I hope it gets better. I hope it gets better soon, but I'm not holding my breath because I'll die for having to hold my breath that long. Kevin Haggerty says, my brother lives in the UK. I don't think he could vote in Brexit, but he loves the idea of it, so I'll pay to do the same. Eurovosh says, truth is that even a small country can prosper if it's prepared to join the single market and work at it. My country is 90% export economy and most of it goes to Germany and France. Fat chance we're leaving EU. Well, exactly. Ernie Byrne says, the abusive nature of English culture is based on class bullying and sustained by private school regimes. I agree, Ernie. Like the Stanford experiment, divide and conquer, the unempathetic win because they don't care. I wish I didn't care. I wish I didn't give a monkeys. I wish I'd just go, ha ha, I'm off to my island. See you later, losers. But I can't. There's some stupid part of me that just goes, no, we should try and stop this. We should try and point this out. We should try and make this not happen. And all I can do at the moment, obviously, because we are still under special measures, is basically draw people's attention to what's going on each day, which I hope I do with you. But I'd like to do more. I'd like to do so much more. But yeah. I was just looking at a tweet there from Max. He's just written Christ on a bike. Face palm. This is from what newspaper? From the Express. Get on with it, Liz. Red Wall Tory voters back UK-Australia trade deal as top priority. Yep. Losing all those jobs in the north. Yeah. Just seeing if anything new is coming up before I go. I'm gonna head over to the Discord server. Oh Christ, it's actually past 3. I lost track of time there for a moment. Oh. Right, just bear with me. Right, so if you want to continue the conversation, I'm going to pop over to the Discord server, but I really need to make another cup of tea, so I'll be doing that. Ernie says, the rituals of remembrance are more important than the reason they were started. Lest we forget was how stupid and unnecessary war is. Demonstrating unwarranted face patriotism is what started it. Yeah. The great lie. The grand illusion. It is sweet to die for one's country. Turns out it's not. All Shorts and Steve C are already in the voice chat, so you can go over and join them if you want and have a chat with old Marcus. All Shorts, you can chat to him about this whole thing about when we go to France and we stay with someone, they have to apply a month in advance and pay like €27 or something to put in the paperwork so you can stay with them because you're not an EU citizen anymore. You're a third country that has no reciprocal kind of immigration deal, I don't think. Okay, so I'm going to... Kevin says, Graham, what you suffer for is called a conscience. It can be a horrible infliction at times. It is. Tell me about it. Right, I am going to make a link. The link will expire after 6 hours. Now, listen, obviously, I am happy to throw this link into the chat for now, but as things move on, I won't be putting the link in the chat anymore, and the only way you'll be able to get onto the Discord server is if you are a member of my YouTube circle or a patron. I think you can pay what you like on Patreon, so if you want to go over there, you can, but if you sign up at patreon.com/HughesRound, that Ginger Scouser, you can get the benefit of having constant access to the restream to the Discord server. I think that deserves a like, says Richard. Yes, give me all the likes. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to give this video a like or a dislike, just something like that. That would be great. Also, if you would be so kind as to subscribe, if you're not already subscribed, and maybe have a look at joining. If you're not, if you're already supporting me by Patreon, don't worry about this. But if you would like to sign up as a member, and then there'll be members only areas, and don't worry, if you are a patron, I'll try and suss out a way of allowing you to see members only videos. But there will be content going up in the future that will be members only. So if you're not a patron, have a think about pressing the join button, which is down here somewhere. I don't know where it is, which will allow you to become my first YouTube member of my circle. So thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to head off now. I will be back at 10 o'clock talking all about the mountain kingdom of Bhutan, home to the world's highest unclimbed mountain, and other interesting facts for you. I will fact you till you fart. All about Bhutan. It's a really interesting country. I'll be talking about that at 10 o'clock tonight, live and interactive on this channel. So I will hopefully see you then. So thanks for watching. Thanks to all my patrons. Thank you so much for the super chats. Really appreciate it. And I'm going to leave you with a list of my wonderful patrons, and I will see you later. Until then, hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.